Okay, so this is just some part of a tutorial on how to use burned games to run the RAG series. This will work with pretty much any PS2 game, but I'm obviously talking about speedrunning the RAG games here. If you live in Europe and only have access to the PAL regions, this is how to do it without spending a huge amount of money importing an American copy of RAG 2 or RAG 3. First thing you're going to need is obviously a PS2. This PS2 has to be soft modded. So there are 3 sensors which detect whether the disc tray is open or closed. You just need to jam them all on open. There are 3. There's one just behind the power switch. There's one at the back of the disc tray, and there's one that you will have to unscrew the PS2 to get at. Next thing you're going to need is a FreeMUC boot memory card. These can be somewhat expensive if you're getting them off eBay, but if you just ask me very nicely, I might burn one for you. And you will need CogSwap loaded onto a USB stick, or in my case, loaded onto the memory card itself. Other things you'll need is a computer and a copy of the ISO of the game that you want to play. You will need some DVD-Rs or DVD-RWs. These things aren't very expensive, I just got mine from Poundland. And then you will also need just some regular PS2 game. I'm using Spider-Man 3 just because it's a game that I have. I also recommend using a program called PowerISO to burn your games, just because it works a hell of a lot quicker and it just works a lot more reliably. That you can just get off uTorrent. I really don't advise buying it if you're only using it for this. So obviously open up the ISO. Mine's are in here. Just do here. Open it up. It should look something like this once it's opened. And then just click burn. I've already got one burned, so I don't really have to worry about that. Next, once the game is burned, it's on a disc that looks like this. Stick your actual officially licensed PS2 game in your PS2 and just hit restart and wait for it to load up. Just give it a second to load up. You need to turn fast boot off in the FreeMUC boot settings, so it will take you to this screen even though the game is in there. Hit circle to come out of that screen, obviously, and it will take you to the FreeMUC boot main menu. Now, I've got a CogSwap shortcut here, but if you don't have one, you need to go through ULaunch ELF and go to your memory card, which should be, your memory card will be mass. There, mine's on one of my memory cards. Got the apps. It's there. So it should look something like that in your thing. Open that up. It'll open up this screen. Once it turns yellow like this, hit X. And wait until it turns purple. Once it turns purple, open up your PS2. Take the game out and put in your burned game. Press X again. Gives it a bit of a judder. And it loads up the game. And this is now the American version because I've used an American ISO. Now this obviously is much easier with a slim PS2. It is possible with a fat PS2, but it is a bit more complicated with how the disc tray works. That's kind of it. If you can't fill in any blanks yourselves, you really shouldn't be running this game. Thank you anyway.